Hi everyone, today I am going to briefly explain about the topic growth of mandible, which is divided into prenatal and postnatal. First, prenatal growth of mandible. The mandible develops from the first pharyngeal arch. The mandibular process grow towards each other and fuse in the midline, forming the lower jaw and lower lip. The cartilage skeleton of the first arch, known as the Meckel's cartilage, arises at the 41st to 45th days post-conception and acts as a template for mandibular development, but mostly disappears in the formed mandible. The mental ossicle is the only portion that derives from Meckel cartilage that undergo endochondral ossification. Ossification of mandible starts around the 6th week from a single center in each half of the mandible. It begins near inferior alveolar nerve and spread to form the body and ramus of the mandible. Endochondral ossification area occurs in three regions: condylar process, coronoid process, mental region. In condylar process appear around 5th week of intrauterine life, become cone-shaped by 10th week, ossifies by 14th week, migrate inferiorly and fuses with posterior border of ramus by about 4th month. Its upper part persists as growth cartilage and articular cartilage. In coronoid process, developed from secondary cartilage by about 10 to 14 week, associated with temporalis muscle, gets incorporated into intramembranous bone, disappear before birth. In mental region, 1 to 2 small cartilage appear by about 7th month of intrauterine life. For mental ossicle, ossicle get incorporated into bone during symphysis mente fusion during the first postnatal age. Next is postnatal growth of mandible. It is an important topic in orthodontics and craniofacial development. Although the mandible appears as a single bone in the adult, it is developmentally and functionally divisible into several skeletal subunits. They are ramus, body of mandible, angle of mandible, lingual tuberosity, alveolar process, chin, condylar process, coronoid process. In ramus, there is resorption of bone on anterior part and deposition on posterior part, which drift the ramus in a posterior direction. Functions of ramus remodeling: they are accommodate increasing mass of masticatory muscle inserted into it, accommodate enlarged breadth of pharyngeal space, facilitate lengthening of mandibular molar. In body of mandible, increase in width of mandible occurs due to resorption on inside and deposition on outside. Increase in length occurs due to drift of ramus posteriorly. Increase in length occurs due to eruption of teeth. Angle of mandible. On lingual side, resorption takes place in postero-inferior aspect, while deposition on antero-superior aspect. On buccal side, resorption takes place in antero-superior aspect, while deposition in postero-inferior aspect from antagonial gauge. Lingual tuberosity, it grows posteriorly by deposition. The resorptive field is below lingual fossa. In alveolar process, develops due to the presence of tooth bud. It adds to the height and thickness of mandibular body. In absence of teeth, the development fade. In chin, protrusive chin is a unique human trait, more prominent in males than in females. In condylar process, the head of the condyle is covered by condylar cartilage. It is now believed that growth occurs at the surface of condylar cartilage by deposition, and growth of soft tissue carries the mandible forward away from the cranial base. Growth rate increases at puberty, reaching a peak between 12.5 to 14 years. In coronoid process, it has a propeller-like twist mechanism of growth, which means it increases in height superiorly, widens medially, and grows posteriorly. Deposition on lingual side follows Enloe principle, which means growth and enlargement of bone occur towards the wide end of V due to differential deposition and resorption.